Samburu red-backed earth. The gerenuk is classified as the cutest antelope owing to its outstanding features such as giraffe-like neck adapted to dry regions. Unlike most antelopes, gerenuk stands on its hind legs and uses the front legs to graze from the tree and mostly survives on water available in the plants, and at times it can even stay without water for a couple of months. The Grevy's zebra are about 2,000 left in the wild. Unlike other zebra species, the Grevy zebra's stripes are narrow and claws set. This zebra can go up to 5 days without water. Nevertheless, Samburu stands out among the beautiful reserves with hidden gem from the vast game experience and places to put up while on a visit.
We also have culture of our people, which is another unique thing. You know, sometimes when you go to the US and you say you are from Kenya, they might not be able to recognize you. But when you say you are a Maasai or Samburu, they say, so you are from that country of beautiful people. We call ourselves butterfly people because of the many beautiful colors that people wear and the beadwork that they put on. So it's very easy to recognize our people just because of that beauty that surrounds them.
The wildlife adds touch of exclusivity to the region, making a visit to the northern part of Kenya worth to spend for. As the sun rises over the sprawling plains of Amboseli National Park, a breathtaking spectacle unfolds. The Amboseli National Park, renowned for its diverse wildlife and stunning landscapes, offers one of the best vantage points to appreciate the magnificence of Mount Kilimanjaro. The park's unique ecosystem, characterized by acacia woodland, swamps, and open plains, provides an unparalleled opportunity to witness the interplay between the mountain and the vibrant wildlife that roams below. As dawn breaks, the rays of sunlight illuminate the mountain, casting a golden shade over the landscape. Visitors often gather at designated observation points for breakfast, cameras in hand, eager to click and capture the moment when the mountain unveils itself in all its glory. The sight of elephants grazing against the backdrop of Mount Kilimanjaro is a scene that leaves an indelible mark on the hearts of those fortunate enough to witness it. Here, elephants roam freely, often seen against the stunning backdrop of the mountain. The park is also home to lions, cheetahs, giraffes, and a variety of bird species, making it a haven for wildlife photography and observation.
Amboseli National Park is very beautiful because of the wildlife which is present within the park. Within the park, we have over 56 mammals which can be seen from time to time. And we also have all except one when we talk about the big five. And so apart from that, Amboseli is also known as the home of African elephants because of the number of elephants which are residing within the park. And so it is only within Amboseli where you are able to see a large herds of elephants at any one given time.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we have
to do it twice.
It is time to create lifelong memories, time to write down history, and it is time to give a blow-by-blow account of each football match played right here in Africa. This is just the start of something very special.
Against Mamadou Sy for Algeria to stay in the penalty shootout. And it is Senegal who claim the title as Guendouzi strikes the woodwork.
You don't want to miss this classy treat, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Well, human rights activists Boniface Mwangi and Agatha Atuhire are tonight demanding that the rogue cops who tortured them be arrested and love brewed in the silent pot.
We bring you the story of two deaf lovebirds who signed their way into marriage.
Audience and watching viewers, this is Prime Edition coming to you live from Broadcasting House.
Good evening. I am Muchuma Odim.
And my name is Mboya. Here is a look at our top stories. Fatal shootout.
One cop dead, two injured as police recover weapons following deadly shootout. Valley of violence.
Kerio under scrutiny as leaders call for government to gazette the region as dangerous and disturbed.
And Mashemeji Derby deadlock.
Mixed feelings as Kogalo and Ingwe draw in the legendary Shemeji Derby.
A warm welcome to Prime Edition, or socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Our same language expert tonight is Byron Abuli.
Straight to our top story now. Police in Nakuru have tonight arrested 7 suspects and recovered an AK-47 rifle following a shootout incident that left 1 police officer dead and 2 others nursing serious gunshot wounds.
Nakuru County Commissioner Leiford Kibara says the officer was killed during a dramatic shootout with armed criminals on Sunday in Bondeni area.
Now, the shootout occurred as police were pursuing a gang of armed criminals believed to be behind a spate of crime in that area.
This report was compiled by Eden Ibrahim.
Police in Nakuru say they have apprehended 7 suspects linked to the fatal shooting of a police officer in Bondeni, while 2 other officers suffered gunshot wounds. 3 suspects were apprehended at the scene, while 4 others were arrested at a lodging in Tahidis area, where they are believed to be hiding.
The journey yesterday was not the best because we had the exchange of fire with our police officers, and in the process some were injured, but luckily we have gotten the firearm.
Nakuru County Commissioner Loyford Kibara says following the arrest of the 7, they led officers to a location where an AK-47 rifle believed to have been used by the gang in their criminal activities was recovered.
Because we also want to know the source of hizi risasi tuko nazo hapa. So you can see now at the point mahali tumepata ikiwa imebakisha risasi 3.
The gang is reported to have opened fire on the officers on Sunday, who were pursuing them, leading to the shooting incident.
And out of the shootout at around 8:30, we were able to track the entire night the systems of these fellows in a place hidden where they could keep the firearm in a place near a Kalonjing there.
Kibara warned criminal elements that they will not relent in protecting lives and property, pledging to dismantle criminal networks within the county. Among the suspects in custody, 6 are foreign nationals and 1 is an ex-convict.
These guys are from Kuria, Tanzania. There are 4 or 5 of them, but with accomplices in between here, and one of them is an ex-convict who was released from GK prison here in Nakuru.
In a statement, National Police Service spokesperson Michael Nyaga sent a message of condolence to the family of the fallen officer and wished a speedy recovery to the injured officers. The suspects will be arraigned in court on Tuesday.
Onto a story we teased for you at the beginning of the broadcast, Tom.
That's right. Calls are mounting for government to officially declare Kerio Valley a dangerous and disturbed zone to pave way for disarmament and the flushing out of criminals that are terrorizing residents there.
Speaking at the Sacred Heart of Jesus Cathedral in Eldoret during the Requiem Mass of Father Alois Cheriot Bet, leaders demanded accountability and justice over the priest's killing.
Father Bet will be laid to rest on Tuesday at the All Lessos Parish Cemetery in Eldoret.
Ben Chumba reports.
The Sacred Heart of Jesus Cathedral in Eldoret overflowed with grief as hundreds of Catholic faithful, clergy and loved ones gathered for the Requiem Mass of Father Alois Cheriot Bet, a man deeply cherished and respected by the community he served until his final breath. Voices rose inside the cathedral calling for the Kerio Valley, long plagued by cycles of violence, to be officially declared disturbed, paving way for disarmament and the flushing out of criminals terrorizing the area.
Pale Mount Elgon tulikuwa na shida ya SDLF. Serikali ikagazeti, we need to gazette Kerio Valley as a disturbance zone so that we disarm and flush out criminals that are within the community.
Calls for accountability and justice grow louder, especially since Father Bet's death comes just weeks after another Catholic priest died under suspicious circumstances.
It is so sad. Tunapoenda kupumzisha padri wetu, hakuna mtu anatuambia kama hawa watu wameshiba.
Haijapita dakika 10 kutoka kwa misa na hakukuwa porini, alikuwa katikati ya majamii zetu. Kwa hivyo tunajua kati ya hata Wakristo wetu, labda kuna baadhi ya wale walijua ama waliona. So basically aliuwa anajulikana lakini hajashikwa. Because the community hawajatupatia mwenye aliuwa Father Alois, we want to ask the government to take over and get the person who killed Father Alois.
Watoke waache na kukana dance ndako wawachane na kanisa kabisa, kama hataki aende mbinguni.
Why don't they put money and get that land?
Kerio Valley can feed the whole of Kenya. It is one of the most fertile places we have. So we have to do something. And it cannot be visited as usual.
Meanwhile, across the green hills of Nandi, a group of 24 elders gathered at Mount Matambach in Aldai constituency. Here, tradition met tragedy. The elders recreated the priest's final moments in a symbolic mock-up only to destroy it, breaking it apart and burying it in the ground, as if to say, never again.
Hatutaki pujo kwa Kenya. Vijana, kaeni kwa amani. Vijana yetu, kaeni kwa amani. Watu kuua ni mbaya.
Around the mountain, they walked and prayed for unity, for safety, and for the kind of Kenya where no servant of God has to die for doing good.
Tumesanyana hapa wasee 24 na wengine wako nje. Hakuna mtoto hapa, hakuna mama hapa. Tumetoa kilio yetu, tumepiga makoti chini, tumetoa viatu. Na tumefaa vitilie tofauti na pimbo ingine sio ya vita. Tunaambia Kenya yote wawache kumwaga damu.
Tumesikia watu wa Mungu wakiwawa bure na tena nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tunaomba tena viongozi wa nchi yetu ya Kenya. Mungu asaidie.
On Tuesday, the body of Father Bet will be taken to St. Michael's Terige High School for public viewing and a final funeral mass. Following the mass, a solemn procession will escort Father Bet's body to Olesos Parish Cemetery, where he will be laid to rest. Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
Let's now take you to Parliament. The Justice and Legal Affairs Committee is this week set to table its report on the suitability of the 7 IEBC nominees following the completion of the parliamentary vetting process on Saturday.
Members of Parliament will either give the nod for their formal appointment, reject the list, or amend the list.
This comes even as a 3-judge bench prepares to begin hearing a case challenging the nomination process of the proposed commissioners.
Gladys Mungai has details of the hurdles facing the appointment of the commissioners who, if approved, are expected to oversee the country's general poll in less than 2.5 years.
Erastus Edum Ethekon.
The journey to the establishment of the next Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission inched closer Saturday after Parliament completed the vetting process in one day. This now sets the stage for the committee to write its report and table it in Parliament this week for debate. The committee's report is expected to guide Parliament's final decision, either clearing the nominees for appointment or recommending their rejection or changes of names.
I don't think I'll be biased. It's my nature not to be biased because I discharge my duties professionally. And I want to believe at any time, at any point in time, each and everyone here must have interacted with a party.
But even before the House can act, the process is facing a legal hurdle with the courts, having given a nod for vetting but stopped the swearing-in ceremony, pending a court process challenging their nomination. On Friday, Chief Justice Martha Koome constituted a 3-judge bench led by Justice Roslyn Aburili, Justice Chigiti Mugwimi, and Justice Andrew Mwamuye to hear a petition challenging the legality of the nominations. The case filed by activists Boniface Mwangi and Kelvin Roy through senior counsels Paul Moite and Douglas Otieno questions the legality and constitutionality of the ongoing IEBC selection process. The bench is expected to hear the case daily owing to the urgency of the matter. IEBC has been operating without commissioners since early last year after the term of the commissioners ended. Pressure is mounting for the appointment of the commissioners to begin the process of preparing for the next poll. It is now a game of wait and see what is next for the nominees as both Parliament and the judiciary sit this week to dispense with their agendas. For Sunday Express, I'm Gladys Mungai.
Well, that report by Gladys Mungai brings us to our first break here on Prime Edition at exactly 70 minutes past the top of the hour.
Coming up, education matters and much more with the detail and clarity you deserve. Stay with us.
Tracy, ulifikisha do za trip?
Sijafikisha bado. Saving for retirement has been my biggest priority.
So when trip, nilikuambia jua kali kuna do. Mimi venye nimejipanga na hii biashara yangu, sione nikiwa isota.
Trip bado tunaenda. Na by the way, do you save for retirement?
Kwani mimi ni mzee? I'm still young and I've got plenty of time to start saving later. Then again, si watu wa jua kali, hatunanga hizo ma pension plans.
Kwani ujui unaweza register with an individual pension plan yenye iko regulated na RBA?
Inawakaje?
Una deposit any amount of money at any time na uko guaranteed ukikuwa mzee. Maisha yako itakuwa nywe.
Baadaye vile nakushauri ni ukweli. Hadi mimi boost savings zangu kwa scheme yetu ya job.
Really?
Nilijua siwezi kuwa kijana forever. Sis, usikose kujipanga mapema. Tutakuwa wazee wa maana.
Hebu nionyesheni kuwa mzee wa maana.
Ensure you save and plan for your retirement during your youthful working days. Provided you are earning an income, you can join our retirement benefit scheme registered by Retirement Benefits Authority and safeguard your tomorrow. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
In a world where news is ever-changing, staying informed is more important than ever.
Join us every week on News Check, your go-to show for the latest in current affairs, breaking news and in-depth analysis.
A warm welcome to KBC News Check.
From politics to global events, we bring you content that matter to you.
We're not just speaking about the governance and how we want to see it, but want to actually participate.
Get your facts, hear from the experts, and really understand what is happening around you.
We need to change our system first.
You have to do the impossible
Yes.
to make sure the message is home.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay engaged.
Will these people, everybody agree?
Just listen to me.
Let's give him a chance to clear the air.
Catch News Check every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Prime Edition from Broadcasting House.
Our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. On to other developments tonight. Human rights activist Boniface Mwangi and Ugandan journalist activist, if you like, Agatha Atuhaire, want action taken against Tanzanian police who say they subjected them to torture and other human rights violations following their detention.
Now, the duo recounted in graphical detail their days in incarceration, with Mwangi saying that he was forced to strip and was sexually assaulted.
They now want the police officers involved in their torture arrested and prosecuted.
What was meant to be a trip to attend a court hearing of Tanzanian opposition leader Tundu Lissu, who was facing treason charges.
Then they took us to a building. To this place where they went to torture us.
Tanzania is not allowing nationals into its country. Why were you at Tundu Lissu's trial?
Will quickly turn into activist Boniface Mwangi and Ugandan journalist and activist Agatha Atuhaire being arrested. And today the duo will speak out against the incident, saying they were subjected to serious human rights violations.
In certain objects, we do certain objects and pull it
You don't know what's happening. You don't know what's in front of you in your, complete nakedness and all.
The two say they are yet to heal from the trauma they encountered while in detention.
And they told me to strip naked. And I stripped naked. When I stripped naked, they removed my handcuffs. And then I was grabbed by about 4 men And they lifted me up so fast.
The day I had dreaded that I had known would come someday was coming in Tanzania, where I hadn't done absolutely anything, not even go on the street to protest, which is also right, but...
Revealing details of their incarceration, Mwangi and Agatha shared their traumatic experiences in Dar es Salaam.
So we were put on an upside position where my legs were up like this, my body's up, I'm stuck naked. And then they started beating my feet. So they would beat me and massage my feet. Beat me and massage my feet. I was screaming so hard, I couldn't even, there was no tears coming out because of how painful it was.
The public officials were not afraid at all of being the ones to call thugs, to send us to thugs to do what they did to us. And for me, that's a level of impunity.
They say they were held in Communicado for days before being dumped at the border points, Mwangi at Horohoro on the Kenyan side and Atuhaire at the Mutukula on Ugandan side.
I did not give them my phone. I didn't even have a phone at that particular moment, but they said that they're going to teach me a lesson I'll never forget. At that session is where they said they're going to rape Agatha. That guy called my phone and said he's going to rape Agatha.
It had already been clear these are not people who have come to talk to you for a conversation where you can even beg or whatever. No, they had come with one instruction: inflict as much pain as you can.
The activists have now vowed to take legal action against the Tanzanian security officers. Boniface Mwangi and Agatha left their respective countries on May 18, 2025 in a bid to support Tundu Lissu, who is facing treason charges. Abdiaziz Hashim for Prime Edition.
Well, the Institute of Engineers of Kenya, IEK, has raised a red flag over an increase in quacks in the sector, raising safety questions in the industry.
According to AIK President Engineer Shama Kiteme, the institute has no say in policy decisions involving capital-intensive projects in the country.
EIK is saying that there needs to be a convergence on policy implementation by all players in the sector to ensure integrity in the sector is not compromised.
They spoke during the first Women Engineers Convention at Sawela Lodge in Naivasha, as reported by Al-Lid Abdullahi.
As the engineering sector grapples with the integrity and representation issues, leaders in the industry are now calling for policy reforms, greater involvement of local experts, and affirmative action to boost the participation of women in the profession. The Institute of Engineers of Kenya have decried the growing number of unqualified individuals masquerading as engineers, a situation they say is contributing to the alarming rate of building and infrastructure collapses in the country.
We have no say in key policy decisions as engineers, and for that reason, mega contracts are signed by the Treasury without our involvement. Engineers are considered spanner boys, only good at implementation and not conceptualization.
Mama Ida Odinga, the CEO of Spectre Limited, who was the key speaker during the Women Engineers Convention, noted that due to limited local opportunities, many qualified engineers are being forced to seek jobs in other African countries.
Expertise that we have, that we've learned here, let us use it internally here to create and improve our lives. It takes a long time to educate engineers, to make the engineers. Let's not export our brains. Let's use them here first. And when we are satisfied we have done everything we need, then we can export.
Low number of women engineers employed in the country is also an issue of concern, with the Institute noting it's working closely with the government institutions to increase the number of women engineers in employment.
Women represent less than 20% of the engineering workforce in Kenya, and an even lower proportion in leadership and specialized technical roles. This is unacceptable.
This comes as hundreds of engineers across the country decried increased marginalization in the construction industry, accusing major contractors of sidelining qualified professionals in favor of cheap, untrained and unlicensed workers.
We want to champion the rights of the specialist contractor and make sure that they are not marginalized when they are doing projects, they are not left out of the conversation, and that they have a voice in the industry. That is why we are here today, and we look forward to making a difference and having an impact within the community that is construction in Kenya.
The story was reported by or voiced over by John Kahiro and compiled by Adan Abdullahi.
Now, a row is brewing between residents of Nairobi's Parklands area and construction companies over what they term as destruction of infrastructure and traffic inconveniences in the area.
The residents, through the Parklands Residents Association, have threatened to stop any further constructions in the area, claiming that the developers disregard any health precautions, thus risking their lives.
They further cite the destruction of the road and other infrastructure by truck ferrying construction materials to the site. But in a quick rejoinder, the developers under the Westlands developers dismissed the claims as unfounded.
The group claims all developments in the area are authorized and follow the construction guidelines to the letter.
While citing harassment, the workers claim the move to stop the construction will affect tens of unemployed youth, who, by the way, depend on the sector.
Saa zile county inapeana approval au wanakuja kusimamisha mijengo. Hiyo ni kumaanisha vijana watapata ajira, na vijana wakianza kuiba watapigwa risasi. Saa zile kazi imejitokeza over mijengo 200. Hao ni vijana wangapi wameajiriwa kazi? Ni wengi.
Power wametoa wapi? Because ukiangalia hii mjengo imeandika watu kama almost 300 na bado kuna wapishi wako hapa. Bata wanakuja wanataka kusimamisha mjengo, na ile mjengo wanataka kusimamisha iko na document zote. So watuambie ni mbinu gani wanataka kutumia au kama resident association kusimamisha, because hao sio serikali.
Most of the sites here have complied. Why should the sites be closed? These people should be deregistered. It should be known that the said chair of the PRA is coming to incite people and to ask for documents. We want to know, apart from you being a chair of a residents association, who are you? Do you have the right to come and ask for documents?
Sasa association kama hizi zikikuja zisimamishe kazi, sasa hivi vijana wanaenda kukaa mtaani na kesho ni wiki inaanza. Kweli tutakaa bila kazi? Kwa hivyo yangu ni kuomba mambo ya discrimination, mambo ya racism tunaikemea na kazi iendelee. As long as approval ziko, wacha kazi iendelee. Lazima tupate kazi.
And to education matters, school dropouts and absenteeism among students have become issues of concern in arid and semi-arid regions owing to prolonged periods of droughts.
Hunger among learners is leading to disruption of learning and is affecting academic performance in students in some areas.
In response to this challenge, the Child Welfare Society of Kenya, under the newly established State Department for Children Welfare Services, has initiated a pilot school feeding program in selected counties to address food insecurity.
Nancy Okware reports.
The agency, which is mandated to protect and promote welfare of children through the Emergency Student Support Program, is targeting learners in day secondary schools across Baringo County. With free meals in school, more learners will focus on studies, helping them stay away from early marriages, crime, among other vices that could disrupt them from pursuing their education.
Tungekuwa tunafaa kwenda nyumbani kula chakula, but instead ya hiyo tunakaa shule na tunakula. Sasa imetuwezesha, yani imerahisisha masomo yetu kuwa simple.
Previous to very SSC results, it was 3.9, and the last year of 2024 it raised up to 4.6 because of the presence of food.
Kama wanafunzi wanatoka, for example, ndio mafamilia iko chini sana, low background, pia wanaweza kama wamemiss chakula yote tu kwa home, they can get in school.
In Mogotio, over 4,000 students across 23 secondary schools have benefited.
These students have been going home many times for lunch fee. Since you people gave us this food, They have not been going to home for fees. We've never sent them for fees, especially for lunch fee.
Has also brought down something like absenteeism, because when they are sent home for fees, some may go there and stay for long.
The reason why we chose to assist this county of Baringo is because, one, is an ASAL county where sometimes there is no food in families, and two, there being no food, it means even children would drop out of school.
The intervention is said to be rolled out in Kerio South, Elgeyo Marakwet and Nyanza region.
Now, the Kenya National Police Sacco has initiated a nationwide recruitment drive. Why? To increase membership while also providing crucial investment education to empower its members.
The Sacco's chairman, David Mategwa, expressed confidence in achieving targets for both membership growth and asset expansion by 2025.
Mategwa, who also serves as the chairman of Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives, which recently faced challenges, reassured cooperatives of restored stability within their organization.
We are moving to the next phase. In the next months, we are moving to the next phase of going to, like Makueni, going to extending now. So at the end of the day, we want to do countrywide sensitization. Cusco is not a primary Sacco that needs many branches. It can operate from the headquarters and have few, like 4 other branches all over the country.
A wave of emotion swept through the PCA Kikuyu Church in Kiambu County over the weekend as 2 lovebirds, both with hearing impairment, exchanged their matrimonial vows in a radiant wedding ceremony.
Joseph Karienga and Esther Mboya were united not by spoken vows, but by the language of the hands and hearts in a moment that left a mark on all that witnessed it.
Here is that beautiful story.
Joseph Karinga, who works as a waiter, wearing a radiant smile, and Esther Mboya, salonist, were joined in a holy matrimony in an extraordinary wedding ceremony. Both Karinga and Mboya are deaf, but their love spoke louder than any words could. As they walked down the aisle, elated families, friends and the congregants, including the deaf community, welcomed the couple in a powerful and heartwarming testament of love transcending beyond physical limitation. The 2 lovebirds did not need to say a word to express their love, but with every step to the altar and every gentle touch, Karenga and Mboya demonstrated to the world that love does not need a voice to be heard. Through interpreters, the 2 shared the various challenges they have encountered, especially in a society that often overlooks the physically challenged.
Sisi wawili tulianzia aje our relationship. Tulikuwa tuna communicate kwa simu on subjects za shule na kuconnect. Na mimi pia nilipomtongoza na akaona ni vizuri tukue pamoja in a relationship, akadecide tuende kwa wazazi wake na tukaenda kwa wazazi, na ndio hata saa hii tuko na hii harusi siku ya leo.
However, through gestures, understanding and shared glances, the 2 have remained resilient and hope to share a future together no matter what lies ahead.
Nitakuwa na shukrani sana kwake, mtoto mwenye ako sawa na mwenye ako na ulemavu, wote Mungu akinijalia itakuwa tu sawa kwangu. Kuna matumaini ya kupata mtoto, na Mungu akitubariki na mtoto mwenye pia hana ulemavu ni sawa. Na akitupatia pia akiwa na ulemavu pia itakuwa tu sawa. Hata sisi pia tumeweza kukua tukiwa wawili na bibi yangu, na sioni shida.
And by the end of the day, Karinga and Mboya officially began their love journey woven with faith and hope, with a clear message to the world that love only needs truth and commitment, and that disability is not inability.
Vile tungependa kuhimiza wazazi ni wale ambao wako na watoto differently abled, watoto ambao tunaita PWDs, wacha kuwaficha, toa mtoto, ujui kile Mungu amemwekea huko mbele.
John Kahiro, Prime Edition.
Je, umewahi kuwa na deni ya KRA? Basi usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC wamekuandalia roadshow murwa kabisa. Jiunge nasi tukufahamishe kuhusu KRA Tax Amnesty Program na jinsi utakavyoweza kusamehewa adhabu na riba na KRA. Pia tutakuwa tunakusaidia kujaza fomu za kodi za mwaka 2024 na kukusaidia na huduma za KRA kwa mtaa wako. Jumanne tarehe 3 mwezi Juni tutakuwa maeneo ya Machakos kuanzia Syokimau na kupitia Mlolongo, Kitengela, Athi River, Machakos, Mutituni na tumalizie Tala. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Thought you in Dubai? I was. The difference is just 1 hour. Why are you getting confused?
Huwezi nielewa.
Tafutaje Musa story tunajua mimi naye. Unamaanishaje? See the fact that mamake alitoroka.
I have a lot of things in my mind, and your name is the least of my worries. Can you serve me breakfast? As long as you're disrespecting your mother, I do have a problem with your stay here.
But you just came the other day.
So?
Are you hiding something from me? What?
Yaani wewe na hiyo manga yako bado hujatoka kwenyewe.
Hapana, kuna noma nayo.
Huwezi ongea nao kabla hujapita kwangu. I will not allow your egocentric megalomania to drive me crazy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kenya. Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all.
We dive deep into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health,
someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about the viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good morning, Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good Morning Kenya, every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back to Prime Edition. Tom, take us to the counties.
That's right. An accident has claimed the life of a motorcyclist along Magonga Ogembo Road, that's in Kisii County, plunging his family into mourning almost immediately after sadly burying his mother.
This and other stories in the county's news roundup.
Josephat Masea from Gakongo Village, Kanyenya Sub-County, met his fate after the brake of his motorbike allegedly snapped and lost control near Don Bosco Secondary School along Magonga Ogembo Road. The motorcycle with 4 pillion passengers on board dipped into a cliff about 15 meters from the road, killing Masea on the spot and injuring 3 others.
They had
an accident with a motorcycle that those brakes I got 2 clients. One had a blunt chest injury, whom I referred after first aid to Ogembo Referral Hospital.
Solidarity! Wow. And teachers in Mandera County have opposed the recently released Teachers Promotion List by the Teachers Service Commission TAC, citing lack of transparency, regional imbalance, and failure to recognize long-serving educators working in hardship areas. According to Kenya National Union of Teachers NAT and the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers KUPPET in Mandera, the promotion have introduced unnecessary confusion among teachers in the region.
Teachers in northern Kenya are completely wallowing in a mist of confusion over the teachers' promotion, the recent teachers' promotion. When teachers were waiting for their letters of promotion, it happened that another party came in and altered the teachers' promotion.
And in Mombasa County, political leaders are demanding answers from Mombasa County government following the felling of all trees at Uhuru Gardens, located within Mombasa's central business district.
Mombasa hatuna misitu. Misitu yetu ni ya mikoko. Lakini tukiangalia mikoko mingi inakatwa sasa kwa sababu ya makao. Tukianda pale Chuda chini tunaona kwamba nyumba ni nyingi kuliko mazingira ya mikoko. Na ile miti pia ambayo iko mjini sasa tumeanza kuikata. Sisi tunasema kwamba hakuna ruhusa ya kukata miti yoyote.
Finally, a major inspection team in Turkana County have declared 25 community social impact projects in Turkana ready for use after concluding a final technical assessment. The project, implemented by the Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA, are part of the Kenya South Sudan Link Road program aimed at integrating infrastructure with community development.
Turkana County government received 25 projects. And this is something that was agreed upon the leadership, parliamentarians, the county assembly, members, and the government itself. And out of these 25 social infrastructure development projects, Turkana County governments are going to receive 14 projects.
In all the facilities, the 25 facilities we have done, we have provided water, we've sunk boreholes and provided water to all those facilities. We have also provided solar power to all the facilities, about 20 kVs, and that is very high voltage power. And therefore, all the institutions will be powered by the solar energy. They will need not pay for electricity bills.
Aaron Marie.
A very good evening to you. My name is Daniel Home and welcome to the sports. And Bernard Wanyama scored a second half equalizer for AFC Leopards to dent Gor Mahia's chances of retaining their FKF Premier League title. The 1-1 draw at the Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay leaves Kogalo, who are also hunting for the Mozambique Cup, 6 points behind leaders Kenya Police, with 2 matches to go this season.
The FKF Premier League season may end too soon for Gor Mahia after they failed to collect maximum points against AFC Leopards in their second Mashemeji derby of the season played at the Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay. Kogalo were hoping to beat their arch-rivals Leopard and hope the title race will go to the last day of the season, and were leading at half-time thanks to an Austin Odhiambo 32nd minute goal.
Aliyepewa kapewa! Mpewa hapo Konyeki! Austin Odhiambo!
Their lead only lasted for 5 second-half minutes before Bernard Wanyama leveled for Leopards, who held on to the final whistle to collect a vital point that keeps them firm in 6th position, while denying Gor Mahia 2 points that could have narrowed the gap between them and leaders Kenya Police to 4 points.
Wanyama ana ujumbe anaotuma ule, anarudisha Ingwe mchezoni. Dan Shikanda daktari amenyanyuka na amefurahia kweli kweli. I belong to Jesus.
The result means that a win or draw for Kenya Police against Shabana on 14th June will hand them the title before they face Gor Mahia in their final game of the season.
Now, the national men's ice hockey team Kenya Lions lifted the Madaraka Day Cup after trouncing World Team 9-5 in a pulsating encounter played at the Panari Ice Rink in Nairobi. Benjamin Mburu and Dennis Lumumba scored a brace with each, with Abdul Wahab Nkamate and Mike Tyson, Mike Otieno, Arnold Mburu and Trevor Mwangi scoring a goal apiece to hand the Ice Lions their first Madaraka Day Cup. The Ice Lions used the encounter to fine-tune themselves ahead of the forthcoming international fixtures and the grueling league season in September.
one of their fastest games I've ever seen them play, but they also played the smartest game I've ever seen them play. I looked at the score sheet. I think 6 different Ice Lions scored, which is great, which means it's teamwork, passing the puck to get the goal-scoring chances as opposed to one person doing everything. The last 2 months as coach, I've been working on strategy and tactics with them in the offensive zone. They did that really well, and that created a lot of opportunities for scoring, and they converted. It was a great game.
It's a big moment because with most of the tournaments that we've played, it's been quite challenging, but with the players, as you've seen, they've really stepped up. They've really pushed hard against Team World. So this is it's a great success for the team.
We picked the loose man, we moved the puck better, we shot more, and we just outskated them and made sure they don't get as many chances as we.
And the game today was fantastic. We did our best, and we hope to go far beyond this. It means a lot to us because it's like our first Madaraka Cup. The last one from last year we lost, but we had to take this one.
They were so much faster. Of course, they are younger than us, and every day they are more experienced, and they have some skills and tactics to play. So congratulations for Kenya.
And USIU Spartans labored to a 2-0 win against Amira Sailors during the Kenya Hockey Union Women's Premier League match played at USIU grounds in Nairobi.
One person to go.
USIU dominated their opponents from the onset and missed several goal-scoring opportunities as Irene Senoi and Ryan Oyando's chances went begging, with the first 2 quarters ending goalless. On resumption, Amira appeared to have benefited from the halftime pep talk and nearly went ahead, but Yvonne Mado skewed her effort. USIU finally broke the deadlock in the third quarter through Judy Abayo. Amira's comeback attempts were dealt a blow as Lorraine Rutendo doubled USIU's lead. USIU, who played to a 1-1 draw with Mombasa Sports Club on Saturday, held on to grab the vital maximum points.
The important thing about a game is to learn the tempo. When you have an advantage, you look for the opportunities. You slow the game down, you play to your wings, and you see how you can accelerate and get a third goal. If it doesn't come, you make sure your team is stable, you make sure your game is stable, and you're covering all the spaces just so that you're securing your 3 points.
A conversation we were talking about was we know we need to be focused, especially in the second half of the game, because we struggle with maintaining focus. So in our heads, in our minds, we just knew we had to keep fighting until the last possible minute.
Meanwhile, Amira Sailors will be seeking to correct their mistakes and bounce back in the next fixture against Blazers.
Mchuano umekuwa mzuri. Kuna yale mabao ambayo tumepoteza chances zetu, lakini USIU is a worthy opponent. They have some good skills.
The thing we'll be focusing on is our defense. We need to really work on our defense's reactions, because you realize with short corners, it means that we're making a lot of mistakes in the D. So we need to work on the structure of our defense, our reactions to the ball. Yeah, hopefully that will avoid the errors in the D.
Bernard Okumu, Prime Edition.
And here is a bright story about Kenya. Several international athletes from the just concluded 6th Absa Kipkeino Classic Continental Tour had an experience as they toured the Nairobi National Park. The athletes, drawn from various countries, were treated to breathtaking views of Kenya's iconic wildlife in what is part of Kenya Tourism Board's broader initiative to establish Kenya as a premier sports tourism destination. The Kenyan meet was the 6th round of the World Athletics Continental Tour Gold Series and brought together 189 athletes from different countries. 2 meetings records were shattered with 2 other world leads in the event, which was held at the Ulinzi Sports Complex for the first time.
And as I went into planning this season's competitions, I told my coach, I really want to go back to Kenya and to Nairobi because the meet was fantastic last year. I remember all the spectators in the stadium. The Kenyans really know how to put on a show. Of course, there's a running culture here in Kenya that's just incredible. So they really know a lot about track and field and running, and they just really put on a show. So it's the atmosphere in the stadium is just amazing.
Always a warm welcome coming here. It's my second time competing at the Cape Kenya Classic, and I really enjoyed it again. It was good atmosphere, good conditions, and a really good competition too. So I'm competing in the javelin throw. You have Julius Diego as a local hero, so that's also fun if you have like local heroes in the competition, which always brings up all the atmosphere.
Now, 4 swimmers qualified to represent Kenya in the World Aquatics Championships, which will be hosted in Singapore from the 11th of July to the 3rd of August this year. This is after the culmination of the National Championships, which were held at the Kasaragini Aquatic Center.
Kenya will be represented by 4 swimmers in this year's edition of the World Aquatics Championships in Singapore, where close to 2,500 athletes are set to compete for top honors. The women team will comprise of sensational Sarah Mose, who will feature in the 50 meters freestyle category and the 100 meters category. Sarah qualified during the national trials after clocking 25.97 seconds in the 50 meters freestyle contest and timed 55.22 seconds in the 100 meters freestyle category. Another lady in the squad is Imarabela, who will be making a return to the World Championship. Bella represented Kenya in the 2024 World Aquatics Championship in Qatar, but did not qualify into the semi-finals. During the national trials, Bella clocked 27.96 seconds in the 50 meters freestyle category and 1 minute 01.55 seconds in the 100 meters event.
To react, and that might be Hira really pushing the 15-meter mark there.
The men's team will see Haniel Kuduli and Stephen Ndegwa battle to put Kenya into glory. Kuduli timed 29.32 seconds in the 50 meters breaststroke and timed 1 minute 05.89 seconds in the 100 meters event. On the other hand, Stephen Ndegwa clocked 25.55 seconds in the 50 meters butterfly category to qualify.
Our own, like Sarah Mose, we have seen Peter Ndegwa breaking records here in their personal best and meet records. Going forward, we are looking at our championships in Kenya growing very fast, and we really thank the various counties that have been organizing various meets, which has brought the levels of competition very high.
Kenya will be hoping to register sparkling performances after failing to win a medal in last year's event. Frederick Moki for Prime Edition.
By a big margin, Ingrid Wilm about a body.
Now, the national women's soccer team, the Harambee Starlets, are in Morocco ahead of the upcoming international friendly match against North African sides this Wednesday. The team, which departed last evening, will use the match to prepare for the Sekafa Women's Senior Challenge Cup and the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against the Gambia in October. The team is under the tutelage of Berlino Debma and features Kibra Stars women goalkeeper Vivian Chionzo, who finished second in the 2024-25 season with the most clean sheets. Defender Lea Adiema, followed by Tumaini Waliaula, and midfielder Diana Washera returned to the national fold, while Phoebe Akech and Martha Amuyolet have also earned call-ups following their solid performances at club level. Now, Kenya's Equity Handball team has emerged victorious at the 2025 Genocide Memorial Handball Tournament in Kigali, Rwanda, after a captivating and hard-fought final. The team secured a 28-26 win against defending champions Rwanda Police, showcasing their skill and determination on the court. The final match was a tense affair from start to finish. Rwanda Police, fueled by a passionate home crowd and their status as title holders, initially took the lead. However, Equity remained composed, responding with precise passes and a strong, decisive lineup and critical finishing.
Dominating the local circuit and now coming out to an international level and actually emerging winners. It's not an easy thing. I'm proud of the boys. They showed up for the tournament.
Coming from Kenya, all the way from Kenya, and getting this trophy from them, I think to me that's a very good plus for us. And we really appreciate because the boys really fought very well.
Played them earlier, we lost. We knew the mistakes we made. We knew where we needed to make amends. And it worked for us actually in the final.
And the national men's and women's Paravolleyball teams, which will represent Kenya in the Africa Championships, slated for the 1st to the 10th of next month at the Kasarani Indoor Arena, are set to hit residential camp pending the Ministry of Sports approval. Kenya Paravolleyball Federation Secretary General Justus Katumo confirmed that the teams which will feature in the African Championships, which Kenya will be hosting for the first time, was unveiled. Fred Mwoki has the details.
The women's team includes, among others, experienced Sylvia Oleiro, Miriam Wanjiku, Judy Osinda, Purity Mweni, and Rachel Akoth. Lilian Otiato, Ashleen Autai, and Winnie Wafula will also be featuring in the Continental Showpiece following their inclusion into the squad. The men's team features setters Samson Njoroge and Caleb Odio, while hitters in the squad include Laban Kesio, Andrew Omwende, and Bethwell Cheruyot. Vitalis Owako, Wilson Osumba, and Ian Shege were also named in the squad. The African event will see the top 2 finishers for men and women qualify for the World Championship, which will be held in October. The Kenyan team will be going for the top honors this time around after the women's team secured a silver medal behind Rwanda during the 2024 Africa Sitting Volleyball Championship held in Lagos, Nigeria. The men's team also demonstrated resilience with a notable 3-2 win over Nigeria in the opening match. Rick Moki for Prime Edition.
And that's the sport for tonight. A lot to keep up with tomorrow. Remember that the top clay court tennis tournament in the world, the French Open, is happening. A lot to follow up on. That's just part of what we're doing. And also, as we build up to the final of the FKF Premier League season finale. My name is Daniel Wahome. Thank you for being with us. Back to Tom and Irene.
Well, we owe you an apology and a new airtime for your favorite weekly show, The Cabinet.
And this week, Bentro Njue was focusing on the Cabinet. He was focusing on George Muhoho. But we'll consider that in our subsequent bulletins right here on KBC Channel 1. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback on our social media platforms. Our sign language expert tonight is Byron Abule. My name is Muchuma Odim. Good night.
And I'm Tom Mboya. Good night from Nairobi, Kenya.
Bring back my daughter to me.
Ai, Kisaka, kwani unazungumza peke yako siku hizi? Is Grandma Kathy in the house?
Yes, talking to Auntie Mimi.
Oh, really?
I don't want to hear from you. This is all your mess. Sasa tumepoteza huyo mtoto na huyo msichana.
What are you doing here, Millicent? I'm sure you didn't come all the way to give me parental tips.
Thank you, boss. Usiwahi niite hiyo jina tena. Nilikwambia nini kuhusu hii familia, boss?
considered him the coward of the county. I just don't wanna say too much, never too much, never too much, never too much. Nobody gets too much heaven, no, no. It's much harder to go.